Greetings. This is the Instrument Sidekick video for all the instruments where it says first time reading a song. So all my instruments, first time reading a song, okay? So there's some things that are connected with everybody, and then I'm going to play the final product down here for each instrument so you can hear what they all sound like. And you can practice your instrument's version of it with all those different versions of it to play along, and it'll be a lot like practice because you'll be doing it over and over with each instrument. But remember that you might need to practice just certain sections on your own until you've got it before you're actually trying to play with all the other instruments, okay? So keep in mind, remember, practice often involves a lot of repetition of small areas of the music, in which case you wouldn't want to be trying to play the whole thing over and over, okay? So that might need to happen for a couple days first before you're ready to play with everybody. But I'll still show you what everyone sounds like, okay? So, first, you have a song. At the front, you're going to have whatever clef is important for you. All right? Then, above the song, you'll have the title of the song. So we're learning Boil Them Cabbage Down. Okay? Next to that clef is always going to be a time signature. In between the time signature and the clef, sometimes there might be a key signature. All right. Then you have bar lines going across every number of beats that the time signature tells you. All right. Over on the top right, you're going to have the title, the name of the composer. Now, if you get something like the word traditional, it means maybe we don't know the name of the composer, or maybe we're not sure. And sometimes they'll just say that because the name of the composer is not as important to you as something about it, like, it's a holiday song or something like that. So we don't know who wrote Boil Them Cabbage Down, but it's a traditional American folk song, okay? Very, very common a long, long time ago, back, I think, around the Civil War time. Don't quote me. And you'll end with what's called a double bar. Okay, double bar means you're done with the song. That means you don't need to keep going. Okay, double bar. Now on the bottom here, we have a repeat sign instead. Everything else about this song's the same on the bottom version, except there's a repeat sign. The repeat sign looks like a double bar, but it has two dots, and it means to do the whole thing one more time, like we talked about in Dreidel Dreidel. So you have to do it a second time, not more than that, just a second time. All right, so you get to the end, repeat the whole song. So that means in meetings, I'm going to make you play the top version where it's only a double bar, and I'm going to make you play the bottom version with the repeat sign. Okay? Doing this page is an orange belt test for everybody. Okay? So that is pretty cool. Trying to go for your orange belt. And then the main challenging thing is the rhythms switch between eighth notes and quarter notes, and you have to do your proper rhythm work with your foot or counting out loud if you're percussion. And the pitches switch, and you're not allowed ever to write down or label what the pitches are. You have to remember. If you forget, don't write it down. Do what you need to remember. Use the phrase or go back and look it up on one of the previous pages. Whenever you were introduced to any new note, there was a picture of that note set there for you. Go back, look those up. Okay, every time you look it up, you're more likely to remember a little quicker. Okay, but do not label it. Then you're taking away what helps you with looking it up, the part of your brain which is trying to memorize it. Okay, you're taking away the need to memorize, and then your brain won't even try. Okay, so you've got to figure this out without writing down or labeling what the notes are. And everybody's notes are different. And I'm not going to tell you in this video what your notes are. That's part of the test, is you got to do the work to either look it up or memorize your phrases for the lines and spaces to remember what the notes are and to practice it enough where you don't need to look it up every time, that you know exactly what note to switch to between the eighth notes and the quarter notes. Okay? So you need to really, really do some work on this page to figure it out. I am not going to do all the answers for you. I will play for you what it's going to sound like in the end product, though. Okay? So, orange belt test, very, very challenging. All right. So let's get to it. Same order I was doing before. All right. So I move things over so you can see my footwork. Future videos, I'm going to stop doing the footwork so you can see my fingerings a little more. But I want you to see the fingerings because I don't want you to be cheating about figuring out what notes you're supposed to be playing. But I do want you to see that this is still more about footwork than anything else. So you've got to do the foot tapping at all times. Or counting out loud if you're percussion. Alright, so here is Flute's version of Bile and Cabbage Down, the bottom version of the page. Now the clarinet's version of the bottom of the page. Now the saxophone version of the bottom of the page. Alright. Takes a second to put the saxophone around my neck. Alright. Alright. Then the trumpets version. Then, for the French horns version, since your notes are quite, as we've talked about this, your notes aren't quite the same as the rest of the band. So I need to quickly, okay. So here's your version. Alright, that's the French horns version. Now for the trombone version. Then the baritones version. Alright, then, as I did last time, I've got to bring this up for the percussion. Percussion have repeats both times. Alrighty. But you got to switch to different instruments. So you start off with bells. Alright. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Alright. And then you have to be able to do bass drum and snare drum with accents. Remember, accents are a higher stick height. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 Okay? So, that's everybody. You have to be able to do that. And if you have a version without the repeat, you have to be able to do that version as well. All proper foot tapping, all correct changes of notes, all knowing your eighth notes and your quarter notes, how to count it in your head, how to tap it with your foot, and what notes to switch to without labeling them on the page. I will be having you hold up your book to the screen so I can see that you didn't label it. All right? So, practice, practice, practice. It is a solid song. Well, maybe we'll even try and play it together in meetings if we can figure out how. Have fun with this, and may the force be with you.